First of all, I want to thank you, Wura, for putting up this bootcamp.
Thank you, Coach Wura. You are a blessing to us in this bootcamp and to your generation at large.
Coach, you are amazing. I love your teaching. I love how you are genuinely teaching us and you genuinely want us all to be successful and to start right.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
And thank you, Coach Wura, for investing in the next crop of fashion entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And so you're a fantastic teacher, being able to break down to the nitty-gritty in the simplest of ways that even a baby would understand and be able to implement.
I have never had so much thinking about my business. Like, my eyes are just opening every day to new things.
And I'm really grateful for this platform because it has made me to realize that in order to be successful, you have to build systems.
It has really been an eye-opening journey for me. I finally understood the power of having clear standard operating procedures for my business.
I have never seen a more consistent person in my life. The kind of way you inspire us, even if we are ashamed to give excuses in the bootcamp. So for me, Wura is a real deal. Go and check her out.
Thank you so much, PFA.
I'm really proud to, call you my coach.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
God bless you.
Welcome to your first official webinar. Yes, welcome to your first official webinar. This is the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy Ready to Wear Bootcamp. Are we ready? Are we ready for today's webinar? Because I'm ready. I don't know if you are, but I know that I am ready. So let us move. Anchoring your ready-to-wear brand in vision, voice, and identity. That's what we'll be exploring today. How you anchor your ready-to-wear brand in vision, voice, and identity. My name is Wura Obaka, and I am called your profitable fashion coach. Because if your business is not making money, why are you even in business? So through the course of the week in the academy, we have explored the idea of creating a compelling vision for your fashion brand. Because before you ever talk of products, before you ever talk of what you want to sell, you must first talk of who you want to serve. You must first identify the person who your product is created to serve, who your product is created to meet their need. Because if you don't do this, then you can't be talking about profits, brand. All those things don't even come into play. Those things don't come into play at all. So the first thing that we do is that we talk about why. What is our vision? Why do we want this brand? Why are we starting this brand? How are we anchoring this brand? So if you're here and you can see me and hear me, let me see an emoji. So you know our emojis here are the scissors emojis. If you can see me and you can hear me, I want to see a good evening, Coach Wura, and I want to see your scissors emojis in the comment section so that I know that we are together. All right. Now, what is this session about? This session is about clarity. It's about clarity in decision making. So at the end of this session, you should go out better equipped to be able to create with clarity, to be able to create a clear picture of who you are called to serve and what you are bringing into the marketplace. All right. So this class is not about feelings. This class is about how businesses will make decisions consistently over time. That's what this class is about. So ready to wear succeeds at the level of the founder's thinking. As far as your eyes can see. That's what the good book tells us. So ready to wear succeeds according to the level of the founder's thinking. Not according to sewing, not according to content, according to how you can think. So we are here to set up ready-to-wear businesses. Ready-to-wear businesses that are profitable. What is even a business? What is a business? A business is an organized system that is designed to solve a specific problem. To solve a specific problem for a specific group of people in exchange for profits, repeatably and predictably. So yes, that is what we are trying to build. We are trying to build an organized system that is designed to solve a specific problem for a specific group of people in exchange for profit, repeatably and predictably. That's what we want to do. That's the whole aim of what we are doing in the PFA Ready to Wear Bootcamp. We are creating an organized system in our ready-to-wear brands that solves a specific problem for a specific group of people in exchange for profit, repeatably and predictably. I want to say that in the comment section. So a business is an organized system. Say my ready-to-wear business is an organized system that will solve a specific problem for a specific person or group of people in exchange for profit, repeatably and predictably. So if you cannot do this repeatably, you don't have a business yet. So in this bootcamp, we are going to be focused on repeatability. We are going to be focused on making sure that you are able to create repeatedly, because that's what a business is about. All right, so let's move. So what is our business why? I spent, the first 2 days in the bootcamp explaining in detail why your business must exist and teaching you how to anchor a why. But I'm going to further expatiate on it this evening. Your why is the core reason that your business exists. It is the core reason that your ready-to-wear brand exists. And no, it is not to sew clothes. It's not to fulfill your passion for fashion. It's not to make you look more fashionable. No. It needs to go beyond that. Because guess what? That is why many ready-to-wear brands fail in the first 2 to 5 years. Because you go in because you want to make people look beautiful. I just like to make people look good. And then when you go in and the lack of structure, the lack of business knowledge, everything is hitting you, pass, post. When you say, I beg, I don't do it again, you run. But if you see your business as something that is purposeful, that this business, you came into this business as a divine assignment, and therefore you must fulfill what the maker told you to do. The way you will approach your business is different. The way you will move in your business will be different, because your business is a divine assignment. That's what it is. It's not something you do when it's comfortable. It's not something you do when the circumstances seem better, seem at ease. No, it is what you do, whether it's raining, whether the sun is shining, whether you're sick, whether you're in health. Your business is not you. It must function without you. It must survive you. And that is what you should be focused on building. So your why is the core reason that your ready-to-wear brand exists. It must be expressed as the problem that you are choosing to solve. So I've seen, your submissions in the group, and I've also made comments on them. You need to focus on the problem you're solving. If you're solving the fact that postpartum moms don't have what to wear because, they now have mommy pouch, or you need to state that clearly. I help postpartum moms regain confidence by creating pieces that hide all the imperfections in their bodies. I help postpartum moms show up as the best version of themselves by embracing their new identity as mothers. So when the language of the person who is your customer, when the person who is your customer hears you, they need to know that you are talking to them. So if you want to help postpartum moms and you say, oh, I help women over 35 wear confident clothes, or whatever, you are not still facing that person. You must call the person by name and you must name their pain. That's how you determine a why. That's why we know you exist. You must call them by name. You must name their pain. So your business mind must be anchored on the problem that your business is solving, the people it is serving, and the value that it commits to delivering. The problem it's solving, the people it's serving, and the value it commits to delivering must be anchored on these things. So in business theory, the why is called positioning. So your brand must be positioned to fill a gap in the marketplace. If you do not position, you're going to be selling to everybody. You're going to be talking to everybody. You're going to be running around in circles and nobody will know what you are saying. They cannot see you. They can't see you because you are not positioned. So your passion is not a why. Because passion is motivation, it's fleeting. Passion is interest. Passion is emotion. Your passion does not describe a market demand. It does not describe a customer pain. It does not describe an economic value that you're bringing to the table. So I have a fashion for fashion is not going to cut it in this bootcamp. You would need to actually sit down with your why. Go to bed thinking of it. Wake up thinking of it until you can answer it in a simple sentence with clarity. And that's when you begin to run. So, markets don't reward passion. No. That's why you can be passionate, you can be sewing, you can be passionate, but nobody is buying. Nobody can see you. People say they just carry something to cover their eye. They can't see you because you are not speaking to the language of one person. So, and this does not matter. We're not talking about products first. We're not talking about your product line. Please take note. We are talking about who you are speaking to per time. Who you are speaking to per time. All right. So, why do we think the why is important? Because clarity will outperform talent on any day, on any given day. I had someone in, was it called one of the Ready to Wear bootcamp who said, oh, I used to, like, I was the baddest ass fashion designer, but I was in business for 15 years and I was stuck. But when I came into the bootcamp by day 7, I understood the problem I had had for 15 years. Why did she understood it? Because it was only when she came into the bootcamp that she understood her why. So she was making clothes for 15 years, but she knew not why. She knew not what problem she was solving. She knew not what value she was bringing into the market. So she had nothing to communicate. So please, if you don't take anything seriously, you see this week 1, sit with this webinar. Sit with your tools. Listen to your voice notes over and over and over again until they infiltrate your subconscious. Because if you do not make week 1 make sense, you're going to struggle through your journey in the Ready to Wear bootcamp. So, research across consumer brands show that clearly positioned brands outperform competitors by 2 to 3 times. So, customers are more likely to shop when they understand what a brand stands for. Think about you as a customer. Sometimes you find yourself saying, oh, I like those people. They use ethnic materials. All their fabrics are handcrafted. Oh, I like those people because this and this and this. So when customers are trying to make buying decisions, they are not looking at your clothes. They are looking at your set of values. They are looking at your why. They are looking at who you're serving. So customers are 60% more likely to repurchase when they understand what your brand stands for. And of course, as you keep going, you will realize, I say this all the time, that your fortune is in your ability to retain customers. Customer retention, that's where the real money is. So this is not, you must be able to actually understand consumer behavior science. This even has nothing to do with fashion. In any business, really, you must understand who you're selling to. So the PFA is not necessarily a fashion business. It's a fashion business school. So you as my customer is different from the person who is shopping from my fashion brand Wura. People who shop from Wura want classy dresses. They are confident women. They want to be able to show up as the most authentic versions of themselves. And so they come to Wura. But you are a fashion entrepreneur who is trying to start, scale, or transition their ready-to-wear brand. Two different ICAs. So the way I talk to you is not the way I talk to the Wura woman. If I'm talking to you as if you're a Wura woman, you won't hear me. The reason why you came to this class is because I have been saying something that is directly feeding into your pain. And I have positioned myself as someone who can offer you the solution to that pain. Do you know that I can? Probably not. But because I have said I can with clarity, you're like, okay, let me even come inside safe. This thing is sounding like me. Let me come inside and see what they are doing. So you want to actually be able to do that with your fashion brand. You want your customer to say, are you a postpartum mom? Are you struggling with finding a nice peplum dress that would cover your tummy, bulging tummy? They'll say, hey, they don't call my name. That's where I'm going to. They have called me. Are you a working class woman? Do you struggle to find things to show up in board meetings looking like the confident version of yourself? They say, that's me. We are there. Now contrast that to, do you like to look beautiful and elegant for any occasion? This is where you shop. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So your ICA must hear you, they must see you, they must feel themselves in that pain when you start talking. So if you can see me and you can hear me, let me see you in the comment section. So people buy clarity because clarity reduces decision stress. Nobody has time to be thinking of whether this thing is for me or not. It's your job to communicate what you do with clarity so that people can see it and run. All right. So in ready to wear, if your why is not unclear, you will make random designs. Your random designs will lead to weak collections. Your weak collections will lead to dead stock. And your dead stock will lead to cash flow problems. So when people come and they say, I've been trying to do this ready to wear, but I've not really made money in it. The last time I tried, nobody bought my clothes. I did not see any money inside. It's because you were trying to, you just went on Instagram. You heard that, 2-piece is selling. You went to market, bought fabric, did put 2-piece, put it outside. No plan. But if you knew that you were making a 2-piece for a working woman, the 2-piece you will make for a working woman will be different from the 2-piece that you are making for a postpartum mom. Will it overlap? Perhaps. But then when you're making a 2-piece for a postpartum mom, you're thinking of her unique peculiarities. Okay, she may need to breastfeed. I need to take care of that. Okay, she needs to be comfortable. Her tummy is now big. When she breastfeeds, she adds volume. I need to. So you are thinking of other things, as opposed to the woman who is on the career flight. She wants to look pam. Everything should be touching her body. Should be tapping. So if you're just making for nobody and for everybody, you are selling to nobody. And that is why you will now have dead stock. And please, I always say it. I don't come to you from a place of judgment, because everything I teach you happened to me. I'm the first student in this class. Some of the lessons I'm still learning and I'm still developing through them. So I don't say anything here to judge you. I say everything here to make sure that you are aware, you are equipped, and you know what to do when you find yourself in certain situations. So when we look at Proverbs 29:18, it says that where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law is happy. So your vision is so important. And I like to see vision as the destination. So let's say you get into your car and you say you are driving to Gwagwalada. Gwagwalada is a place in Abuja, if you don't know. You say, okay, I'm driving to Gwagwalada. You take your Google Maps, you put University of Abuja, Gwagwalada, and you put it on the navigation and you start going. You know where you're going to and you're driving straight there. Now contrast that to if you get into your car and you say, I just want to go out today, but I'm not really sure where I'm going to. Let's just be going, let's be going. We will find ourselves somewhere. You don't know where you're going. You have not mapped out the routes to go there. You don't have a time frame for when you will get there. You have no plan. That's how vision works. If you don't have a vision for your fashion business, what your business is created to do, who it is created to serve, the gap it is filling in the marketplace, its position in the marketplace, what market share is it capturing? If you don't have that vision, you're like the person who is entering their car and moving without anywhere to go to. And you cannot contrast that to the person who is going to Gwagwalada, because the person that is going to Gwagwalada will enter their car and they will get to Gwagwalada in 1 hour. Because they had a clear picture of what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were going. All they needed to do was to find a way to get there, and that was how they put it on the navigation. So this week is supposed to teach you clarity. The rest of the bootcamp will teach you how to get there. But you see, if you do not get the clarity this week, and I am teaching you how to get there, you will not know where you're going to. And that is the essence of this bootcamp. All right. So perish here does not mean that you will die. It means that you will decay, you will lose direction, like the person who doesn't know where they are going, you will scatter. And that's what happens to unclear businesses. Your business must be clear. So, your vision matters because it determines the future state of the business that you're building towards. It determins the kind of change you are creating in the marketplace. It determines the long-term direction of your decisions. In May, we are going to be starting the 1-year program. Yes, we have a 1-year program. It's called the Wearable Wealth Circle. And just, I think 2 days ago, one of the Fashionpreneur from cohort 2 reached out to me and she said, oh, coach, I wanted to know, what would be the framework of the Wearable Wealth Circle? That's what the yearly program is called. It's called the Wearable Wealth Circle. What would be the framework of the Wearable Wealth Circle? I said the Wearable Wealth Circle is enterprise level strategic thinking for fashion entrepreneurs. It will teach you how to make long-term decisions. So, but if you do not start in the bootcamp where we are saying, this is your why, this is where you're going to, this is the structure you are using to get there, then it's not going to make sense. So this class and this week is so important in your journey as a fashion entrepreneur. So your vision is not a dream. Your vision is a filter. It's a filter for decisions that you make. Your vision will determine, as a fashion entrepreneur, the type of things you design. There are some things that you can never see in my brand. There are some things that when my design assistant brings, I'm like, no, kill it. That's not for the rural woman. She will not buy it. There are some colors you bring, and I say we will not buy it. On our seller store, we have a whole course on understanding the customer. It's called Creating a Winning Customer Persona for Your Fashion Business. Team, please drop the link to the seller store for anybody who wants to get that course. It's a paid course, but it expands on customer persona in a very clear way. So your vision will determine what you design. It will determine what you reject. It will determine how you price and how you grow. Okay, so let me finish my class. We'll do it after again. So to determine how you price and how you grow. So if you don't know where you're going, every opportunity will look attractive. They'll say, Ashoke pants is raining now. You will run. Oh, this one is raining. You will run. The other one is raining. You will just continue tossing and turning to every tide. So your vision will anchor what you design, what you reject, how you price, and how you grow. So you must get it. You must get it with clarity and with understanding. So let's look at some brands that have a clear vision statement, a clear vision promise. If you look at Chanel, let's start with a luxury brand. If you look at Chanel sells timeless luxury and status. Because Chanel's vision is fixed. Trends don't control the Chanel shopper. Scarcity is intentional. They are not trying to do many of it because they want to price it at a premium, so they are not going to do mass markets. So their pricing is protected. Their vision has given them discipline, and that's why they have been able to stand the test of time for so long. Now, your vision must be clear. And that's why in the bootcamp, I started with Habakkuk 2:2, where I say, the Lord said, write the vision and make it plain. Make it plain upon tables that he that readeth it may run with it. So if people cannot run with it, it's not yet a vision. I always tell the story of Moses. I said that Moses was one person who understood the power of vision. Do you know what it means to market freedom to Israelites that were in captivity in Egypt? Many of them were born into captivity. They never knew what it was to be free. But yet, Moses sold that vision until 300,000 Israelites saw it, caught the fire, and followed him to where they did not know. He told them, I'm taking you to a promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. He had not even been to that promised land. They had not been to the promised land. But he painted the picture so vividly that they were like, anywhere you they go, now there we they go to. That is how you must paint a vision of your fashion business. You must paint it with clarity that when your customers, they're like, this brand, we die here. We're inside here because the problem you're solving for us, we can't get it anywhere. We stick with you. So, now, if you know where you are going, you know what your fashion brand is bringing into the marketplace, the next thing you want to do is to create what I call an ideal customer avatar, a customer persona. And this persona you must sit and create. So the thing is that, week one's work is something that I can teach in a whole month. But unfortunately, the bootcamp is just 12 weeks. So there's a limit to the timing that we have. But with week one's work is It's deep thinking. It's a deep work. So you have to sit with it. So now we are on the ideal customer. Your ideal customer is not everybody. Yes. Your ideal customer is one person. It's not two people. Your ideal customer is one person. Do we understand? Yes. Your ideal customer is not everybody. It is one person. So, whose problem is your brand designed to solve? Who can consistently afford your solution? And who will buy with the least friction? It's not about who likes clothes. So it's about the system that you have now. Who can it serve profitably? It's not about wishful thinking. It's about strategic thinking. So your system should be able to carry your ideal customer. Your ideal customer is not everybody. It is one person. The one person who your vision is anchored on. I want to help postpartum women regain their body confidence by making elegant dresses. So it must be anchored on one person. When the person sees you, they must recognize you. They must recognize that you are serving them. That is how you know that you have an ideal customer. So your ideal customer is one person. So now you are going to now sit down and go through the exercises so that you can create a customer avatar that you will work with in your fashion business. So you will decide whose problem is your brand designed to solve. Who can consistently afford your solution? Because if you are designing, if you're solving a problem for someone that cannot pay you, there's not going to be profitability. Yes, if you are solving a problem for someone that can't pay you, there cannot be profitability. The person has to be able to pay you. The person has to be able to pay you. So you need to know who can consistently afford your solution. Everybody is not a strategy. Because when you try to sell to everybody, your message is going to become generic. Yes, when you try to sell to everybody, your message becomes generic. Your products become confused. Your pricing becomes unstable. Because, okay, now, you see, there's everybody is wearing a boo-boo. You go, you sell to boo-boo. But boo-boo now that you're selling to someone who is working class, high impact, is different from the design. The design of the boo-boo is different from the design of the boo-boo that you'll be selling to a grandma. So if you are not conceptualizing who you're creating for, you're going to get it lost. You're going to get lost. You're not going to be able to talk to that person's pain. They need to see you and see your product and hear your messaging and see themselves. So yes, everyone will always fail as a strategy. It will always fail. Everyone is not inclusive. It is unfocused. And everybody say, I just want to be able to create what everybody can wear. I want anybody that comes to my brand to just be able to wear it. Like, I just want to have, pieces for women, for kids, for girls, for boys. Yes, you can expand into other product lines, but that should never be your starting point. You need to start out from an anchor point so that people can see you and recognize you. And if as you keep growing and you keep having better systems, you want to expand, then that's different. So everyone is not exclusive. Everyone is unfocused when you are starting a ready-to-wear brand. Yes, I said it. All right. So you need to walk yourself around. I've given you the Know Your Customer guide. Go and sit with that guide. Sit with the questions in that guide and answer them so that it can give you clarity. And of course, I've told you guys that, the platform is there for you to ask questions. Of course, if you don't ask me questions, I'm not going to magically have answers for you. It's only when you ask questions I know where you are having issues or where you're struggling with. So, for instance, let's look at Zara. Zara is a brand that, a lot of us have heard of, some of us even shop from. Zara, what was Zara's, if you read the book, the fashion shift, Zara was talking about, the CEO of Zara was talking about the Zara's business model. And he said, Zara was created because, every year you have fashion shows and you have things that come into the season. But the time that it took these brands, these luxury fashion brands, to get those goods from the runway to the market was too long. So Zara came and said, you know what? I want to be able to make these runway pieces in a more affordable price point, and I want to push it out to the market in 2 weeks. That was Zara's unique selling points. They said, I will push this thing out into the market every 2 weeks. And so if you live in Nigeria, if you live abroad, if you go into a Zara store, every 2 weeks, their merchandise is changing. They have new drops. That was their business strategy. Their business strategy was that I am giving trend-aware customers and time-sensitive shoppers a faster route to market. And they have stuck in that niche and they have conquered it. So because Zara knows that for the person who they wanted to serve, speed matters. Quality needs to be balanced against trend. And inventory cycles are short. So Zara can bring out one jacket, 5 pieces, and that's it. Bring out the next one, 3 pieces, that's it. Bring out the next one. They bring it out, batch. Once it comes, it sells out, it's gone. They're not bringing it back. The next 2 weeks, another cycle is coming. That's their business model. So that they can keep things short, sharp, fresh. Your attention is there. They know that you want things fast. They deliver it to you fast. Amazing. So that's a fashion brand you should study about. So, customer clarity dictated the operations of Zara. They knew that if we don't get this thing to the market as the fastest people to get it to the market, we're going to lose the market. They knew that inventory cycles are short. So if we give so much quantity, by the time we are turning around, we're going to still have too much dead stock. So they decide the quantity per design, per stock keeping unit, SKU, that they're bringing in per time, and they give that and they move on. So you need to be mindful of that. Matthew, in chapter 7, verse 24 to 25, says that, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken unto a wise man who built his house on a rock. Inside this bootcamp, be that wise man that is building their house on a rock. Because ready to wear is rain, is flood, is wind, is hurricane, is thunderstorm, is hailstorm, everything is combined inside there. Only those with solid foundations survive. And what is that foundation? This thing that we are doing today. This is the foundation. It is only those with solid foundations that survive in this game. Now let's move on. What is your brand identity? What is your brand identity? What is your brand identity? Your brand identity is a consistent set of meanings, of associations, of expectations that customers attach to your brand over time. Your brand identity is not what you say, it's what the market remembers. It's what the market remembers. You think of Vicky James, you think of corset dresses. You think of Tobo, you think of African heritage. You think of Wura, you think of confident, classy dresses. So, You need to be able to have what your brand is saying. Your brand identity is what the market will remember you for. When they hear that, it's that brand that makes really, really nice, classy boo-boos. They are okay. I think my network went off for a little while, but I'm back. So your brand identity is a constant set of associations, expectations that customers attach to your brand over time. So identity is not what you say, it is what the market remembers. Now, why does identity save you money? Why is building a brand identity? Why do I have to see you and recognize you? The fact that I see you and recognize you, how does it save you money? Because your clear identity will lead to focused collections. It will lead to faster buying decisions. Have you ever thought that, I want to buy trousers. These people, if I go there, I will see trousers. No how. There's this girl that sells jeans in Abuja, Jean World. Anytime I want to buy a jean, I know that if I go to Jean World, I will see jean to buy. I must see jean that I like. Because that's her identity. It's so ingrained in my mind that it's Jean World or nothing. So your brand identity is going to help people make better, faster buying decisions. Your marketing costs will be lower because the cost per customer acquisition, how much it costs you to acquire a customer, especially if you're running ads or that kind of thing, will be lower because your customer can recognize you instantly. They can know that you are for them just because of how you have positioned your brand, how you have built your story, and how you have created an identity of what the market remembers. And it will result in higher repeat purchases. Confusion is expensive. Don't play that game. Don't play that game in ready to wear. Your clarity is what compounds. So as you are going in, you need to go in with laser focus. Laser focus. Focus. Stop moving left and right. Eyes on the prize. All right. So if you don't actually have that identity, it will be difficult for you to actually scale. So now let's look at brand names. We are going to actually discuss more about brand names next week, right? Next week is legal and regulatory compliance. We're going to be talking about, how to actually create legal and regulatory compliance around your brand name. But brand name, let's talk about your brand name. Your brand name is a big part of your positioning because when you have identified who you are, what solution you're bringing into the marketplace, who you want to serve, you now decide, okay, this is what I want to serve. Am I a heritage brand? Am I a mass market brand? Am I a premium brand? Am I a mid-luxury brand? Whatever you are. All these things come in to play when you're naming. Over the course of the week, we're going to share something I call the naming discernment framework that will help you know if your name is right for your brand. Now, I've had a lot of people who come into the boot camp and I say, go and do the naming. I don't care if you have a brand name. You came into the boot camp so that I can help you position yourself to make your ready-to-wear brand profitable. So you are advised in your own interest to submit. It was in the last cohort of the ready-to-wear boot camp that someone said her brand name was Nord Couture or something. And when she started researching the brand name based on the things we taught in the bootcamp, she realized that Nord meant death or something like that. I mean, you have a brand name that is signifying death, but you want to grow. So naming is as spiritual as it is physical. And besides that, with your name, you have to ensure that it is actually available across different items, aspects. Whether it is the website, you need to be sure that the domain has not been bought by anybody. You need to be sure that it hasn't been registered by anybody. You need to be sure that that name has not been trademarked by anybody, that it hasn't been copyrighted by anybody. That you need to be sure. Because as you are small, it may not be anything. But there are some people who it is their job to ensure that they have collected your name. You have done the name, you know that is your name. But they will buy your domain name. And then when you are growing and you now need that domain name, they will tell you that you should pay $30,000 for it, for a domain name that was as low as $10. We're going to explore all these things more in the bootcamp. So your brand name is a strategic signal, and it communicates, number one, your positioning. What position are you occupying in the marketplace? Your brand name tells us. It communicates your perceived value. It was in the first course of the bootcamp, we had someone who had a name that the name was so long and so confusing. And when we went through the naming development framework, I told her, well, don't take my word for it. I'm not going to say you have to change your name or don't change your name. But what I will say is that take this your name and ask 4 random people to pronounce it. And if you get 4 different things when they pronounce it, you have your answer. Because if you have a name that can be subject to multiple pronunciations, multiple interpretations, then it means that at every given point, the value you're bringing keeps changing. So I can be talking of Wura, and I can be talking of Wura, and I can be talking of Wura. But the truth of the matter is that with a brand like Wura, you can only pronounce it as Wura. Like, there's hardly anything anybody ever pronounces. It's just Wura. Wura is Wura, you know. But when you have a brand name that lends itself to so much mispronunciations, different definitions in different languages and all that, then you know that you are setting yourself up. So your name tells of your perceived value and your future scalability. I always say that when you are choosing a brand name, imagine yourself at New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, London Fashion Week. Imagine yourself, your name at that back where they are writing. I want to see what are our brand names. All right, someone said their brand name was Easy. So imagine they write Easy. Easy is easy. I don't think there's any other way you can pronounce easy, unless you want to say easy, you know. So your name should be something that you can see a future of scaling. That is, it's susceptible to any, like wherever you want your brand to go to, that name can carry you there. Not NK Stitches, Chama's Patterns, House of Mbora. You know, all these names that are very limiting in nature. You want to avoid those type of names. And you have to understand that naming carries an authority. And that's why in Genesis 2:19, that Bible verse tells us that, and whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was its name. So you are calling something forth by naming your brand. Don't name it anyhow. Many times you don't take our time to name our brand. Though. When people ask me, oh, Wura, is that not your actual name? I'm like, no. Wura is actually spelled with a double O. And the idea when we actually had that name Wura was because we said we wanted to woo her. So we wanted to create pieces that wooed her. And so we called it Wura, right? And ultimately, that's what the brand does. Because if our Wura piece is not wooing you, what are we even doing? Even if it's a boo-boo, it will woo you. It will woo your husband. It will woo everybody around. You'll be wooed. You will be wooed and we will not be outwooed. All right, I think the network went away for a bit, but I'm back. Please confirm that you can still see me and hear me. So yes, we are not naming for naming sake. We are not naming for fancy. We are naming for responsibility. For responsibility. So here's the outfit I want you to ensure you have at the end of day one. Thank you. Thank you for being wood. Here's the outfit. Here's the output I want you to have at the end of week one. Number one, I want you to give me a clear why. A clear why. I want you to give me a clearly defined ideal customer. If you need to pay extra to buy the Creating a Winning Customer persona course, reach out to Bemisola. Tell her, I want the customer persona course. I think that course is 20,000 naira, but for people in the bootcamp who want it, I can give you guys for 50% off, just so that it gives you more clarity. So I have explained the persona in your Know Your Customer guide, but the Creating a Winning Customer persona course was created specifically to teach on customer personas. So obviously it goes in depth so much more. So I want to see your business why. I want to see your ideal customer defined, clearly defined. And I want a stated vision and identity. I want a stated vision and identity. A clear why, a clear customer persona, your ideal customer, and a clear vision. So I want to see your vision statement, your mission statement. So in case I didn't even explain mission, so your mission statement, your mission is so if your vision is the destination, your mission is the vehicle. What process are you using to get to that destination? So if your vision is that you want to create a solution for postpartum moms, then your mission is that you are creating it by making body-friendly pieces that restore confidence. That's the mission. The road by which you are creating a solution for postpartum mom is that you are creating body-friendly pieces that restore confidence. So I want to see your vision clearly defined. I want to see your mission, and I want to see your identity. Those are your key takeaways from this class. So remember that the good book says that when you commit your ways to the Lord, you'll be established. God establishes clear thoughts, not confusion. So in everything that you do, at the end of this week, by the time we are getting to show day on Sunday, I want you to have clear thoughts. So yes, Sundays are show days, Sundays are show days, and of course for show days, you're going to be telling me what you learned in a video. You will do a video that tells me what you learned in the academy. And in case I forgot to say this during the induction webinar, if you do not do my tax, we will send you out of the bootcamp and you will pay a rejoining fee. And when you pay that rejoining fee, we will look for a collective thing to use it to do within the bootcamp. So please don't be caught wanting. All right. So with this, I have come to the end of today's teaching. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be looking out to see, what questions you have. Let's see what questions you have. Do we have any questions? All right. Okay, so I have very brilliant students. Of course, if you are catching a replay and in catching the replay, you realize that there's something I shared that you want further clarity on, you can always ask us right there in the Profit Circle. All right, this is the first. Well, we had the induction webinar, so that was the first webinar, but this is the first teaching webinar. And like I said, it's a foundation of all the other webinars. What time is show day on Sunday? Show day is at your own time. We drop the tool in the morning, and you're supposed to record the video and send it in before the end of the day. So we don't have a time for show day. Show day is that you show us what you did that week. So with show day, we are training your ability to show up, and then we are training you to be able to have the confidence to speak in front of the camera. Because you cannot be saying you want to be a fashion entrepreneur, but you cannot talk about your business. You have to talk about your business to have a business. And so because I know that this skill is important to your having a business, talking about your business is one of the skills that we build, in the Profit Circle. So you need to pay attention and drop in, your show day reflections. All right. So I think this is a good place to call it a close. Have a good evening, Fashionpreneurs. I will see you in the Profit Circle. And just to remind you, so on Fridays, we have Fashionpreneur Friday Lives. Fashionpreneur Friday Lives are free to everybody. They are not inner circle exclusive webinars. They always pick a topic and explore. I advise you strongly to attend them if you have time. It's 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7:30 every Friday. Every Friday, all Fridays, we show up. All right. So have a good evening, Fashionpreneurs. I will see you in the Profit Circle.
First of all, I want to thank you, Wura, for putting up this bootcamp.
Thank you, Coach Wura. You are a blessing to us in this bootcamp and to your generation at large.
Coach, you are amazing. I love your teaching. I love how you are genuinely teaching us and you genuinely want us all to be successful and to start right.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
And thank you, Coach Wura, for investing in the next crop of fashion entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And so you're a fantastic teacher, being able to break down to the nitty-gritty in the simplest of ways that even a baby would understand and be able to implement.
I have never had so much thinking about my business. Like, my eyes are just opening every day to new things.
And I'm really grateful for this platform because it has made me to realize that in order to be successful, you have to build systems.
It has really been an eye-opening journey for me. I finally understood the power of having clear standard operating procedures for my business.
I have never seen a more consistent person in my life. The kind of way you inspire us, even if we are ashamed to give excuses in the bootcamp. So for me, Wura is a real deal. Go and check her out.
Thank you so much, PFA.
I'm really proud to, call you my coach.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
God bless you.